You have spent too much time letting people walk all over you like a doormat, take advantage of you, while you get none of that energy back in return. And what you need to understand is trying to get everybody to like you is what got you in that position in the first place. If you want to start getting respect from people, if you want to be liked for who you are, not what you can do for others, if you want to stop being such a people pleaser and start pleasing yourself for once, you need to watch this video. All I used to care about was everyone else's opinion of me and how liked I was or who didn't like me. I listened to every single hater and took all that criticism to heart and let it so deeply affect me. I could never say no to anything my friends or family asked of me, no matter if it even put me in a bad spot or not, because I thought being selfless was the noble thing to do. I made sure I was making other people happy before I even stopped to ask myself, am I happy? And really, I was just prioritizing others to the point of neglecting my own well-being and ignoring what mattered to me. Does any of that sound familiar or relatable? I bet it does, because you clicked on this video. Well, I'm here to tell you to say, fuck that, and start being a selfish bitch. And by bitch, I don't mean be a hateful, horrible, awful, nasty person. That is not what I mean at all. We are going to redefine the term selfish bitch right now to what it should actually mean. That you're a woman that can stand up for herself without fear. You're direct and you say what you mean without needing to sugarcoat it. You're independent in the sense that you don't rely on others for approval or validation. You have strong boundaries, know your worth, and refuse to tolerate any level of disrespect. You address problems head on instead of avoiding them, and you're unapologetic and own who you are without trying to please everybody. If you want to stop being a doormat, it's time to start being a selfish bitch. In this video, I'm going to be giving you 8 ways to end people pleasing and learn how to prioritize yourself instead. Tip number 1 is to recognize your patterns of people pleasing behavior and notice when you say yes when you really wanted to just say no. Notice situations where you're seeking approval or you are afraid of being rejected. And when you realize you're about to lay down and be a doormat for someone to just walk all over, think about what a selfish bitch would do and channel that energy instead. Pinpoint the things that trigger you into people pleasing so you are aware of those areas and you can focus on prioritizing yourself in those areas. Which leads me to my second tip, which is learn how to enforce boundaries. It's 2025. We all know about boundaries, but do you know how to actually enforce the boundaries that you have set for yourself? Practice saying no to other people without over-explaining yourself. For some people, myself included, this can be really hard at first. The reason it is hard for some people to say no to other people's requests, often stemming from a fear of rejection, that they're not going to like you if you say no. Get that shit out of your head right now, because you are living under a false truth. The more energy you just freely give to others without requiring them to reciprocate that energy makes you seem easy and accessible. And that leads me to tip number 3. Get comfortable with discomfort, girl, because people do not respect easy and accessible. Stop caring about who likes you and who doesn't. Not everyone is meant to like you, and that is actually such a good thing. Not everyone is meant for you. The people in your life that can accept you for who you truly are the only people worth having around anyway. So fuck what everybody else thinks. Be the bitch that isn't afraid to say no, that stands up for herself, and doesn't need everyone to like her because she knows her worth and is simply focused on her life alone, with no regard for the opinions of others whatsoever. Pleasing everyone is literally impossible. It's never gonna happen. Some people won't like your choices no matter what you do, and that is okay. You need to accept that boundaries might make others feel uncomfortable, but they will respect you more for having them in the long run. Next, tip number 4 is to practice actually prioritizing yourself. This selfish bitch you need to start being asked herself, am I doing this because I want to or because I feel obligated? She considers herself first. She considers the value of her time, her energy, before she ever promises to extend it to someone else, because that is her first priority. And do you know what the result of this is? Because she isn't saying yes to every single little thing that is asked of her and is only prioritizing the things that actually matter. She has even more time and energy to give to the people that actually deserve it, and is actually even more generous and happy to do it because she gives that same love and energy back to only herself and only the people that give it to her too. Make decisions based on your needs, not just if it's making someone else happy or not. Which leads me to my 5th tip: challenge the guilt that you are selfish simply for making yourself a priority. Feeling guilty doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Guilt is just your old habit resisting change. Let it pass. You shouldn't feel guilty to say no or not allow certain treatment from people, because at the end of the day, the only person that truly has your best interest in mind is you. And remember, you are only saying no to things that you either don't want to do anyway or that cross a healthy boundary that you have set for yourself. If anyone has an issue with that, that is just a sign that they're upset that you're no longer allowing them to take advantage of you. And that needed to be checked anyway. Which brings me to tip number 6: surround yourself with supportive people. The people that make you feel bad for not wanting to lie down and just be their doormat to walk all over, cut them off. Be around people that respect your boundaries and reduce your time, or simply cut off the people that are just trying to take advantage of your kindness. The people in your life that you are always there to support but never show up for you when you ask them to, cut them off. The people in your life that only come around when they need something from you, whether that is advice, status, money, cut them off. If you have family that just expects you to give and give but is never supportive of you, stop giving and limit the time that you spend with them as much as you possibly can. You need to understand, if you stop spending all of your time with people that are just draining your energy, you will have only fulfilling relationships left with people that actually leave you feeling more re-energized. That is the goal. Next, tip number 7 is to practice self-validation. Every time you stand up for what you need, praise yourself. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Go treat yourself to a nice little, go buy yourself some fucking flowers. You should reward yourself for maintaining your self-worth. You don't need outside approval to be worthy. The doormat version of you is the one that talked badly about herself. The one that made herself feel like she deserved to take on the burdens of other people. That needed other people to like her so she could like herself. And the badass bitch version of you doesn't allow that kind of thinking in her head at all anymore, and is quick to correct it. Now you only think thoughts that support the idea that you are valued and you are worthy all on your own because you like who you are and you don't give a single fuck if anyone else doesn't. And last but not least, tip number 8 is to work on your assertiveness. You are no longer a doormat. You are an independent boss-ass bitch that can stand up for herself now. Speak up about your thoughts and your needs. Women are often conditioned by society to be accommodating for other people, so speaking up can feel like too much sometimes. I get it. But you need to remind yourself that being assertive is simply clear, direct communication, not rudeness. Don't make unnecessary apologies. If you're the girl that is always saying, I'm sorry for everything, stop it right now. If you want to get respect from people, you have to learn how to be assertive, especially if you're a woman. That's a wrap for my advice on how to stop being a people pleaser once and for all. Make this the year that you finally give yourself what you deserve, where you get to write the narrative of your own story instead of placing so much value in how other people see you. I hope this video helps you understand where your urge to people please comes from and gave you strategies on how to step into being the boss ass bitch that you truly are. Until next time, bye guys.